No matter how hard you try, there's this nagging feeling, like you're running uphill while everyone else seems to sprint downhill. Venture capital funds? They're booming, flooding startups with cash, flashing numbers, chasing the latest hype. But somehow, it's all slipping through the cracks. You see founders drowning in a sea of noisy investors, each with a checklist, pushing uniformity instead of the fire, the true spark that builds empires. It feels like the system is designed to chew up the bold and spit out the safe, the average, while the rare, the revolutionary, the utterly unique founders are left pulsing alone on the edge of this high speed world. You know that feeling, don't you? That slow burning frustration inside. Being boxed in by structures that don't get you because they're mass produced for the many, not the exceptional few. VC funds, with their speed and scale, resemble giant machines, efficient but cold. Their appetite is for metrics, momentum, multiplication. Risk is broken down and sanitized until it fits a spreadsheet. But your vision isn't a spreadsheet. It's a living thing, raw and unruly, screaming for space to grow on its own terms. Yet you're told to conform, to play safe, to speed up or be left behind. And you're tired of that lie, the lie that growth must look the same for everyone. And right here, right now, family offices could flip the entire game. They hold something those roaring VC funds desperately lack: patience, wisdom, endurance. Family offices don't just bet on fast returns, they invest in legacies. They don't chase noise, they tune in to the deep signal. They aren't pressured by quarterly reports, nor distracted by hype cycles. They have the rare advantage of thinking in decades, not weeks. This is the weapon in your arsenal, the secret superpower to scale what VC funds can't. But there's a catch. Family offices have traditionally been silent, conservative, hesitant as if caught in an ancient pause while the world blazes ahead. They're waiting. Waiting for what exactly? Waiting for comfort, for certainty, for a playbook that fits old norms. The truth is, comfort is the enemy here. The real growth, the kind that shakes foundations, comes from discomfort, from risk that's smart and soulful, from investment that demands more than dollars. It demands belief. Here's the brutal truth you need to hear. If family offices step out of the shadows, if they break their own cages of fear and tradition, they aren't just backers. They become architects of new worlds, creators of ecosystems where founders who don't fit the VC mold can thrive. They become the nerve center of something wild and unstoppable, a network where the rare and brilliant connect, collaborate, and ignite. Suddenly, the impossible starts feeling inevitable. Family offices have the power to go deep, not wide, to nurture intensity rather than just expand reach, to invest not just in companies but in futures, in people who refuse to settle for less than their fiery dreams. This is radical. This is transformative. VC funds race for quantity. Family offices can master quality like no other. Do you feel that heat? That insistence inside you that the current rules are broken? That no spreadsheet will ever capture the depth of your ambition? That your best shot at real scale fights against the norm, fights for patience, for depth, for meaning? That voice is your greatest ally. Hear it loud. Family offices can be the shield protecting your vision from the hollow rush of mass funding frenzy. They can be the soil where your roots anchor deep, even as your branches reach higher than ever. But it takes a shift, a disruptor's mindset. These offices must stop trying to replicate the VC race. They must reject noise. They must seek alignment, not just returns. They must find founders who don't settle for scraps of the future, but are hungry for the whole feast. Those who refuse to borrow other people's paths, but forge their own. This is where exponential power hides. Within the unorthodox, the misunderstood, the fiercely determined. You're watching this because you know the world's promises have been empty for too long. Freedom sold like a product, comfort dressed as chains, innovation tamed into repetition. The world begs you to conform, yet your soul rebels. Family offices have a unique chance, an obligation even, to break their own chains and become the very infrastructure the exceptional need. Not a crowd, but a powerful few bound by shared fire. Imagine a family office network that doesn't just write checks, but writes futures. A network where founders find not just capital, but clarity, community, Connection with those who burn as bright and as fiercely. Where brilliance isn't tolerated, it's elevated. Where difference is honored. Where contrast fuels strength. Because in a world trying to sell sameness, the future belongs to those who make rarity the rule. This isn't just investment. This is liberation. This is rebellion. It's about building a foundation so sturdy under the exceptional that they can afford to rip up every rule they never agreed to, so that founders don't just scale but transform, redefine what scaling even means. It's about family offices stepping beyond preservation and becoming creators, manufacturers of possibility. Yes, it's risky. Yes, it's messy. But don't forget, every revolution starts at the edges, in the discomfort, in the unrelenting belief that we can be more. Family offices are uniquely positioned to be the vanguard of that revolution. They have the patience to endure long waits, the capacity to embrace nuance, the power to align deeply with the founders who refuse to be processed, optimized, or simplified. If there's one secret to scaling what VC funds can't, it's this. Stop chasing speed. Stop chasing numbers. Start trusting depth. Trust legacies that stretch far beyond spreadsheets. Believe in the power of the human flame that no algorithm can measure. Family offices hold a rare advantage. They can fuel brilliance over decades, where the VC world burns it out in quarters. That is your edge. That is your freedom. So, to every founder out there rejected by the noise of the market, to every investor tired of chasing the latest flavor without soul, and to every leader who knows true power lies in connection, you're not alone. The path you are trying to walk was never meant to be crowded and loud. It's meant to be fierce and focused. It's meant for those who dare to unlearn the game to win something greater. Family offices can be the catapult, the secret weapon, the patient ally transforming raw vision into unstoppable empires. The VC world may scale quickly, but it also burns fast. Family offices can scale real, meaningful, lasting, transformative. They can build ecosystems where founders don't just survive but thrive on their own terms, beyond the mediocre, beyond the norm. Look closely. The system no longer serves those who dare. It only processes, substitutes, and diminishes. But family offices, if they wake up, if they choose courage over comfort, become a beacon for the rare ones. Not a place to belong, but a space to become. If they connect creators and misfits with patients who care, they spark a wildfire that even the most sophisticated VC fund can't put out. This is a call to the few who refuse to bow to the status quo. Family offices have the power to unlock the individual's greatest resource: time. Time to learn, to burn, to grow without the cold pressure of instant profit. Time to build companies that don't just scale, but change the very rules of business. Time to invest not just money, but soul. The world as we know it is fragile, breaking at the seams, begging for the exceptional to rise. Not many, but the rare and the fiercely dedicated. Family offices can be the structure for those individuals to link, to ignite, to amplify collective power without losing individuality. To be sovereign and selective, patient and transformative. The future isn't built by those who run with the pack. It's built by those who break from it. Family offices can scale what VC funds can't by choosing to be radical, not safe. By investing in founders who burn too hot for the system, and by giving them the fuel to keep the fire alive, long and unrelenting. So ask yourself, are you ready to see beyond the noise? To step into a world where scale means more than faster growth, where it means depth, endurance, impact, where family offices become more than money, they become movement. Because the moment they do, the rare ones, those misunderstood but brilliant individuals, will no longer be misaligned or isolated. They will be linked, powered, and utterly unstoppable. That is not a fantasy. That is the next step, the next revolution, and it's waiting for you.